Welcome and thank you for joining us this week for SUTV News. We open tonight with our big story, the struggle. The struggle that students deal with when it comes to finding a place to live. With the university expanding so quickly, juniors and seniors that wish to live on campus often find that there's not enough space. When those same upperclassmen go to find off-campus housing, they face a variety of problems that range from high cost and getting that right number of roommates. Pair those obstacles with the complicated zoning laws that dictate how many unrelated people can live in one house. We had no problem coming up with a title for this story. Earlier today, David Cabrera went to the Wacomico room to talk to students and realtors about this struggle.
The first off-campus housing fair this semester is well underway. As you can see behind me, there are many students going from booth to booth, trying to figure out where they want to live next semester. We talked to some of the students and some of the realtors about the challenges with off-campus housing.
We plan housing fairs for the students. We do 3 every semester just to give everyone an opportunity to find housing off campus. I know it's hard to find that stuff yourself, so we kind of just bring everyone to a central location on campus to help the students out.
We're interested in what size the property is, how big, how far away from the university the property is, what amenities come with the property, what their utilities are going to cost, and basically what our rules are as a landlord.
People may ask for like payment plans and different things like that. We will have some different options with that, and then your parents can also be connected to the account. Like if your parents are paying for it, then they can be like connected and cover it.
I'm actually really surprised that price range isn't actually a problem for me, but trying to find the right location, if it's close to Salisbury or not, maybe neighborhoods if they're safe or not, not entirely sure on that.
We live off campus within a reasonable distance, not too far, decent amount of space, nice backyard, and I guess the neighborhood, not too quiet of a neighborhood actually. Yeah.
If you missed today's housing fair, there are 2 more in March and April, so just be on the lookout for those. This is David Cabrera for SUTV News.
And last week we brought you the story about a new program at SU that is aimed at raising awareness for suicide and mental health problems. Well, Stephen Graves went to the program's opening events and brings us that report tonight.
Many students flooded Fireside Lounge last week for the official kickoff of the Stand For You program. This new initiative is a new suicide prevention and mental health promotion program and is a joint effort by the university and the counseling center.
It's a 3-year grant-funded program from SAMHSA, and we're very fortunate to have this program because it's really the first program here at SU that teaches students, faculty, and staff about ways to intervene and help students who might be in distress.
Now with this $300,000 grant also comes a new online training program which helps educate students on how to recognize and deal with mental health issues, and it makes it as easy as a click.
Really encouraging students to take the training as well as faculty and staff just to learn more about ways that they can help other students. It shows you different ways to approach a student, ways you never thought that might be helpful to somebody.
In addition to faculty and staff, many student organizations also came to show their support for the new program.
Active Minds is a partnership between the counseling center and the student body. We want to be like a medium between the 2 groups so that students feel more comfortable with going to counsel. The new Stand For You program, they're going to have a lot of events and discussions, and this particular event we had a ton of people coming, and we got a lot more people signing up, so I think it was a good turnout.
It's hard for SGA to be like, we're going to be behind every single thing, but I think with mental health and all kind of things, it ties into so many aspects of your life that it really is important. Like it can affect your grades, it can affect your family life, it can affect your personal life, and so I think because of that, it's important that students know, and because we are for the students and we do things for the students, I think it's important that we got behind it and showed our support.
I feel like a lot of people don't realize how many attempts and how many committed suicides happen per year. So I think it's a really informational, exciting way to meet people who have been affected by suicide and for just to come and show support.
As of now, this kickoff is just the beginning of the program. For the next 3 years, there will be numerous discussions and trainings offered through the university for faculty and students to take advantage of. This is Stephen Graves reporting for SUTV News.
And last week, the topic of crime and safety once again had the campus community buzzing. University police sent out 2 emails about incidents that involve students. Kim Newcomb has that story for us tonight.
Well, Eli, the first email was sent after students living in Cynthia's place were robbed at gunpoint. Police say that on Wednesday evening, 3 suspects used a ruse to gain entry to the residence, stole property, and then fled on foot. On Friday, Patrick Laffridge of Bowie was taken into custody and faces a number of burglary and assault charges related to the incident. Police are still looking for 2 suspects in the case. The SUPD asks that you call if you have any information and is offering up to $1,000 for any useful leads. The second email came due to an apparent hoax call that campus police received. An individual claiming that he had observed an armed intruder on campus. During the course of police activity, it was learned that this information was phony and the call was a hoax. Extra concern was raised amongst students due to the fact that local law enforcement outside of university police showed up to deal with the situation. The police say that they are familiar with the caller and hope to hold him accountable.
Thank you, Kim. And a local hotspot for students, Plaza Tapatia, or simply known as Plaza, is facing serious consequences after it failed an alcohol compliance check conducted by the Wacomico County Task Force. The task force claims that when Maryland State Police cadets were sent to purchase alcohol, they were not asked for identification. It has not been made clear whether or not the restaurant will simply pay fines or if they will face a suspension to their liquor license. And in a poll taken by the Flyer, 50% of students said that they would stop going to Plaza if they stopped serving alcohol. So a suspension would have very negative effects on the business. It should also be noted that there were 20 other businesses tested in this by this task force, and they all passed. And our championship men's lacrosse team opened the season with a bang this Sunday with a rout of Greensboro Pride. The Pride jumped out to an early 1-0 lead with only a minute off the clock in the first period. But when it was all said and done, the number 3 ranked Seagulls defeated the Pride 17-3. And on Monday at 7 p.m., Phil Decker will be presenting a lecture titled Documenting a Haitian Migrant Community in the NAB Research Center Gallery. This exhibit of his work will be on display at the gallery until May 10th. Decker was an outreach worker for migrant farm workers in Salisbury in the mid-1980s. And the hunt is still on for Christopher Dorner, the 33-year-old former LAPD cop who is suspected of killing 3 and wounding 2 in California from February 3rd to February the 7th. Dorner, who served in the Navy from 2002 until he was honorably discharged this year, is believed to be on this rampage because of what he considered an unfair termination from the LAPD in 2008. Dorner was fired for filing a report that the LAPD determined was false. In the report, Dorner claimed that he witnessed the officer, who is now a sergeant in the department, use excessive force on a subject that they had in custody. In a detailed manifesto that Dorner posted on his Facebook account, he made clear that he would be going after officers and the family of those officers that he holds responsible for his termination. As a result, 50 different families of officers are currently under 24-hour protection, and all motorcycle officers of the LAPD have been moved to squad cars. Information that leads to the capture of Dorner, who is being searched for in California, Nevada, Arizona, New Mexico, and Mexico, is worth $1 million. And we've received late word today that a person believed to be Dorner is currently exchanging gunfire with authorities in the San Bernardino Mountains. It is believed that the ex-cop committed residential burglary of a cabin where a couple was tied up. 2 officers were wounded in this shootout. And tonight at 9 p.m., President Obama will be giving the annual State of the Union address before a joint session of Congress. The president is expected to heavily stress guns and the economy in his speech, but it is believed foreign policy will also be a topic of discussion. The Republican response to the address will be given by rising Republican Senator of Florida, Marco Rubio. And yesterday, the Pope stunned 1 billion Catholics and others familiar with the church when he announced that he would be stepping down at the end of February. Pope Benedict XVI announced on Monday morning that due to his advanced age at 85, he could no longer carry out the duties that come with being Pope. Born in Germany as Joseph Ratzinger, the Pope served during the turbulent time in the church. He had to deal with a number of sex scandals dealing with the church priest. Many observers believe that this added a great deal of stress to an already difficult job. But even with his advanced age and sometimes visible weakness, the Pope's closest allies say that they were shocked by the Pope's resignation. The Vatican, which has not seen a Pope resign in 7 decades, has stated that they don't even know how a living former Pope should be addressed or when the College of Cardinals will convene to select his successor. We are told that the Pope will live in a monastery where his time will be spent praying and reflecting. Needless to say, the coming weeks will be busy ones for church officials. And that does it for this week's broadcast. We hope you'll join us for the next. Thank you and good night.